Okay, now that we know everything there is to know about maths, let's bring it all together into one nice, neat little package so that you can see how things like long division and factorising can work together to actually sketch a graph. Imagine we've got something like this, f of x, or our function of x, the graph, equals x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8. I want to sketch this graph, which means to sketch it I need to find the y-intercept and the x-intercepts as well. Okay, I'm going to start with the y-intercept because that's always the easiest. So I'm going to say that the y-intercept is when x equals 0. So I'm going to write f of 0. Replace x with 0, which is 0 cubed minus 3 times 0 squared minus 6 times 0 plus 8. As you can see, all of these terms will end up being 0, and I'm just left with 8. So that is my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 0, 8. Now I want to find my x-intercepts. To do this, I have to do a bunch of things. I have to do long division to factorise it. Once it's factorised, and it looks like one of these ones up here, then I can use the null factor law to get the solutions. How do I factorise it? That's when I need long division. How do I do long division? Well, that's when I need to sub in numbers to get a remainder of 0 so that I know what to divide it by. It sounds complicated, but I'm going to give it a shot and hopefully you can follow with me. I want a remainder of 0 when I do long division. Now I know that if I sub in x as 1 into this equation up here, if I get it to equal 0, then I know that that means that x minus 1 is a factor. Okay, if I sub in x equals 2, then that means that x minus 2 is a factor. Okay, if I get that, a remainder of 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try with the simplest number, x equals 1. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try x equals negative 1, then x equals 2, and then I get a bit panicky and I start to think of numbers that go into this final number up here, the plus 8. But let's just start from the beginning. So I'm going to say when x equals 1. So I'm going to find f of 1. Okay, so when x equals 1. That's 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 8. Hopefully Friday's experience doesn't roll on to Monday. And 1 cubed is 1 minus 3 minus 6 plus 8. As you can see, 1 plus 8 is 9, minus 3 minus 6 is 0. So, therefore, x minus 1 is a factor, which is exactly what I wanted. And now I can do my long division. Okay, so I'm going to do x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x. I always make this mistake. I need a little bit more room for myself. I'm going to divide x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8 by x minus 1. Now, hopefully you remember this kind of thing. I'll just do it really quickly over here. X squared, so x squared goes up the top, and then x squared multiplied by x minus 1. I really want to see this working out, because then I can easily find out if you've made a mistake and where you've made a mistake. So x cubed minus x squared, take that away. Negative 3 minus negative 1 is plus 1 eventually. So I get this. Now I start the process again. Negative 2x squared divided by x is negative 2x. That goes up the top. Negative 2x multiplied by x minus 1, and I get negative 2x squared plus 2x. Negative 2x squared plus 2x minus, and hopefully here I'm going to get negative 6x minus 2x, which is negative 8x, plus 8. And it looks like I'm doing well. Negative 8x divided by x is negative 8. So that goes up the top, negative 8. And then negative 8 multiplied by x minus 1 equals negative 8x plus 8. And here we go. I minus that and I get 0, which means I haven't made any mistakes and I've done the long division well. If I get remainder of 0, remember what that means is that this part, the x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to the thing I was dividing it by, x minus 1, multiplied by the answer up the top, x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now I see if I can factorize this one here, and I think I can using the cross method or any other method that you like. I should get x minus 4 x plus 2. Check that out yourself if you don't believe me, but those are the answers that I should get. Now, why was I doing all of this? Well, I was doing all of this because now I can write that f of x equals that instead of this one. It now equals that one. And now I can find my x-intercepts. I can say that 0 equals this, x minus 1, x minus 4, x plus 2, and now I can use the null factor law to find that x equals 1, x equals 4, and x equals negative 2. Now I can start putting all of this information together and start sketching the graph. I'll jump back up here and sketch it up here. My nice axes here, x and y. It's not going to be to scale, but what do I need to do? I need to put my y-intercept in, which is 0, 8. Okay, I'll put that up there, 0, 8. I won't label it just yet. I'll label it at the end. My x-intercepts were 1, 4, and negative 2 from down there. So 1, 4 roughly to scale, and negative 2, which is about there. And now I need to draw my graph. It won't be 100% accurate, but hopefully it'll be pretty close. Now this bit and this bit is going to be pretty easy to do. Now this bit I need to connect the dots. I don't know where it is. I'm just going to not make it nice like that. So this point here wasn't necessarily the maximum turning point. In fact, I thought it was a little bit over there that way, but I don't actually know. I'll have to wait and see on my calculator to see whether that's true. But now I can start labeling all of these things. That's negative 2, 0, 1, 0, and 4, 0. I don't know how far down I have to go. I don't know how far up I have to go. It's all a little bit of guesswork, but that's roughly what the graph looks like. Now that we've got all that, hopefully you can start to see why long division is really important. It seemed like it was just a random activity that we were doing last week, but hopefully now, once you've seen it all in this sort of sequence, you can start to realize that it actually really helps us to find our x-intercepts. Therefore, we can find our graph, and it looks something like that.